right here. All right, so we are here at Good Springs, Nevada, and we're gonna be doing a panel. So this is gonna be my intro because it's gonna be posted immediately afterwards. So if you guys are wondering, it's gonna be a little loud. The audio won't be the best, but it's fine. This is fine. So just hang tight for a couple of minutes and yeah, we'll go from there. There you go. Just sit there.
Another chair somewhere. Oh, I'm sure we can snag another chair somewhere.
I know. Like, did somebody say like this table?
I don't think so.
There.
No.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's.
How convenient. This is not covering. Hold on.
Yeah, I know.
How convenient.
I know.
Coolio.
It's kind of cool out. I'm glad I wore long sleeves. Yeah, I don't get easily as I used to. Maybe because we lived in Colorado. So okay. Yeah, it's fine. I'm originally from Florida, so I'm used to the heat. I want to visit Florida. Have you been? No, I've never been.
You need to go to St. Augustine.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so cool.
My friend just moved out there, so he's a huge theme park person.
Yeah.
So his husband retired.
Okay.
We're gonna go to Florida. I was like, okay, sure. Like so we moved to Orlando. But I need to visit. I was like, okay, now more reason for me to visit. Like no excuse to not visit.
Yeah, I lived in Tampa for 20-something years.
All right, hello everybody. Just wanted to give a 5-minute warning. The next panel is going to start in 5 minutes, so if you want to get last-minute drinks, use the bathroom or anything, 5 minutes until the next panel, so that will start around 8 p.m. exactly. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Thank you.
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna ask.
I don't know if it's like a
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that might be a good question. Hello, so I'm doing a live stream. We are actually doing a panel here in Good Springs, Nevada. So that's what this is, but hi, I haven't done a live stream in a minute. So yeah, just hang tight for the next couple of minutes. Like less than 5 minutes.
Like the answer?
Hi, Jasmine, how are you? Hi. Yeah, so we're just, this is Danielle. Yeah, we're just hang tight. We're doing a panel, and we're gonna be talking about paranormal stuff. We are here at the Pioneer Saloon in Good Springs, Nevada. I've never been here. Apparently, it's like one of the most haunted places up there. So I'm doing good. It is very busy season, so I've been trying to post as much as I can. I have a backlog of haunted locations that I visited, and I haven't even posted those videos yet, so we'll get there, so. Hi, Elias. Oh, hi, thank you, babe, so pretty. Thank you, you're so nice, thank you. You guys are so nice. So, hi, Elias. Yeah, so we're gonna get situated, so in like 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes before we do the panel, but so you know, this is what it looks like. We're gonna be doing the panel, you guys. Yep, so. All right, let's go. Thank you so much for the likes. I don't even know, is it all the chairs? I guess I'll just, yeah, this is a good spot.
Ah, come on.
Oh gosh. Turn the shit off.
I just heard turn that shit off.
I don't know if she was like being serious or joking.
I don't
Probably
know.
joking.
I hope so.
Thank you for the likes. I know it's a little glitchy. It's okay, so yeah, we're just gonna leave this here.
Someone got a
Oh my god.
Like, throwback.
That's literally the sound.
Holy throwback.
That might be alright.
Holy heck. They'll probably pick back up when it starts to see people.
Probably.
Yeah. That was funny.
A little windy.
Little nippy.
We're good though. We're good.
I love that part.
Did he say where we're sitting? He doesn't.
Yeah, wherever, I guess.
Wherever.
I don't know.
Go sit over there.
I say we just go sit.
All right. Let's just go sit.
Pre-introduction to the introduction.
Are you leaving your bag over here?
I'll watch everything.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah, we need that.
Probably will need that. Yeah.
Well, don't. I'm going to introduce you. You make your grand entrance.
I don't think so.
He's like,
I like that one.
At night, I was just like, okay, here, like, absolutely, right? But the bar. I love this. I like I like one of my patients is my friend and like so right here. Where's that?
Go to your seat.
I think right here, right? Yeah.
Where are you sitting?
In the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I think you're good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously adjust it if you need to, but.
Hold on.
Hello.
Would it help if I turned it on?
You say you're going to turn me on?
You said that last time and you didn't tell me how, so I don't
Waiting
play
for you to figure it out.
No, that's not my game.
Do you guys want to sit next to each other?
No, this is for the audience's safety.
There's no safety in this. Hey, thank you guys for coming out tonight. We're going to get going with our next panel here. We've got a very special panel together, and we'll go from the other end on down. We've got Danielle Nicole, owner and lead investigator of Vegas Afterlife Paranormals, as seen in Las Vegas Weekly. Give it up for Danielle. We also have Austin Alvarez, host of the YouTube show The Truly Bizarre, and host of Spirits with Spirits at the Pioneer Saloon, as seen on CW's Art and Channel 3 News. Give it up for Austin! We also have a producer, researcher, narrator, host, and psychic medium, as seen on CW's Mysteries Decoded, BuzzFeed Unsolved, and Something Scary. Give it up for Steffany Strange. And you may or may not have ever heard of this guy. He's co-star of the longest-running television paranormal series, Ghost Adventures. Give it up for Jay Wasley! Woo! Thank you, guys. My name is Old Man Liver. I'm the owner of the Pioneer Saloon. Voted number 7 most haunted destination in the country by USA Today. You know, beat up by Zach Baggins thing, whatever that all nonsense is, but whatever, you know. So we're gonna kick it off. It's gonna be a fun evening, and y'all are gonna be able to ask whatever questions you want of anyone on the panel. We'll get it rolling. Question number 1, and we'll go to Danielle. What does it mean to you to be a paranormal investigator and researcher?
Well, to me, I like teaching people. I like showing people that this is stuff that you should not be afraid of. This is stuff that you should know about and you should learn about. And I know there's a ton of skeptics out there. And I like proving that this stuff is real and proving that this is not just some superstitious stuff. So do my tours, I like to go in there and show people this is what's actually happening. This is real. And I think to me, being an investigator is just proving people wrong. Proving the non-believers wrong and turning them into believers. So that's what I think.
How do you prove it?
Through all kinds of scientific experiments and devices.
The equipment that we use in
Yeah.
paranormal investigations?
Yeah.
And then do you videotape your experiences?
Oh yeah. Yep. Videotapes, photography, recording, everything.
Have you ever gotten something so conclusive that you feel like if someone saw it or experienced it that there is no way they could say that this isn't real?
All the time. I mean, last night I did an investigation at Whiskey Pete's, and you're in this suite, the 19th floor, and I actually have it on a video. I wish I could show it to you guys, but we asked I forgot what we asked, and all of a sudden you hear this like blood-curdling scream come through the spirit box, and it was the craziest thing, and I was like, there's no way that you're going to explain that. I'm sorry. There's nothing coming through that AM frequency for this random scream to just come through. I don't think you're going to have screams on the radio channel. So, I don't know. That was really weird, but that just happened last night, so.
I hear you, because there's stuff I legitimately cannot explain that I've experienced in Pioneer Saloon, no matter what you believe or not believe, I cannot explain it. So.
Oh yeah, no, that was a few weeks ago here. I had some really weird shit happen, so.
That happens here.
Yeah.
How about you, Austin?
So of everybody on this panel, I am probably the newest paranormal investigator. Handful of years. For me, though, it's like answering a question to myself, because I grew up watching shows like Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, all those types of shows. And so for me, it was getting answers about like what really is after this, or is it something that you can even communicate with? And I guess to kind of answer the questions you asked her on concrete evidence, some of the stuff that we've gotten in the Spirit Box, doesn't make sense. Sure, okay, so maybe some of it is great, and you're talking to somebody that you hear, go to Finley Nissan, and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, the ghost is not telling me to go to Nissan. But I've had people say names, I've had intelligent conversations back and forth, and for me, that's the craziest part, is having full-on conversations with entities that I can't see.
That's neat. All right. How about you? What your experience is that you would say definitely proves that what you're doing is real?
Oh gosh. Okay, so I'll start with a story. I think for me and my husband, we really lead with our intuition and our abilities. And for the record, I believe everybody has abilities. I think that's what really draws us into these topics, whether we think we're gifted or not. But a great story is actually when I went to Tombstone, Arizona, and we went to the Oriental Saloon, and we had set up all this equipment, and Carl, you were blindfolded, and you did not know what was going on. You didn't know where anything was, where we were putting all the equipment. And Carl started channeling one of the spirits there, because he just felt more connected to the energy there than I did. So I said, hey, where do you feel the man? And Carl said the bar, and right when he said that, the balls started going off, and no one was near the bar. So for us, I think we lead with our intuition, and we allow our intuition to kind of just and our abilities to communicate with the equipment comes secondary. So I think that experiences like that really just confirm, wow, we really did channel this spirit. We really did get them to touch the equipment and communicate with them. Another place was the open house in LA, and I was the one blindfolded, and the same thing. I stood by the window, and right when I said that, one of the equipment, the key tuner started going on. So for us, that's how we try to really experiment. But I also think too that when it comes to investigations, the fun part is to let's try to defocus as much as we can until we can't come up with an answer.
Yeah, explain what the blindfolding technique is used for.
Yeah, so at least for us, we want to kind of describe our senses, our physical senses, our visual senses, and I do have earplugs, and so for the person that is being sensory deprived, in this case, Carl, I don't know the equipment is being placed. So when that happened at the open house with the saloon, I said, tell me where you think the spirit is, and have them make the equipment go off. And that's when it happened. I didn't, he didn't know that the cat ball was by the bar. I didn't know the K2 was by one of the windows. And I was specific to which window, because he was trying to tell me, which one. And I was like, oh, it's this one right here facing the tree. And I was trying to be descriptive of it. So those things like that, I feel there's no way. How would I know how, if I knew what it was? So that's kind of how we work.
So are there some things where Carl connects more than you, and you let him run with it?
Oh, absolutely. I think that when it comes to ghosts and spirits and energy, sometimes everyone is either more connected to that land or place versus others, and that's okay. I think that's why mediums always say this too. It's sometimes I may connect better here or not here. It's really a matter of our mental state, whether the spirit even likes us. The man at that moment liked Carl, which makes sense. I'm a woman. And so it really connected more with him, which makes sense. So okay, you take over to turn the channel. So
Yeah, that's neat. So do you kind of do that conversation whether Carl let them ride it?
Yeah, we'll take turns definitely to feel which spirit feels more welcome. We went to this a ghost town in Santa Maria, and the man on the obelisk called me a wench. I'm like, all right, we're gonna have Carl take over because this man does not like me calling me a wench. And Carl.
But isn't that good if you're riling him up a little bit and getting some activity, even if it's negative?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that, you're right, that can bring some energy for sure. I think for us, we try to take more of a gentle approach, just because I think for us, it's easier to communicate with a spirit that's willing. So we kind of do consent-based channeling as well. So
that's awesome. So Jay, what does it mean for you to be a paranormal investigator?
I think it's To me, it's the question that everybody has: is what happens after we die. It's been a question asked for thousands of years, and they've created myths and stories and religions and beliefs and all kinds of things to try to explain what happens after we die. So being able to do this week after week, investigating and collecting evidence and experiencing the things that I get to experience, it's basically that. It's an archaic revival to connect back to that ancient long question of what happens. And sum it up, generally there's much more than just this. Hands down, what we experience, what we see in our reality is just a small portion of what actually exists out there, and it's proven over and over again. And I think that's what's exciting about the paranormal field as well, and how it's growing. There's more people doing it. The internet now, and social media, and YouTube. People are collecting data and evidence all around. Where before it was kind of, you couldn't really talk about it. Crazy.
Right, it's growing. It's not becoming like a freak thing. Now
Exactly.
it's accepted by the general public. Like, there are unusual things going on in our world that we cannot explain.
And if you're out there and you're not alone. There's people all around the world that haven't been experiencing these things for literally thousands of years. Like I said, that's what creates myths. That's what creates, these stories that we hear, and people are still, we did a show called Ghost Adventures House Calls, where we focused on just helping people out with their homes. And, it was just, that was such a powerful experiment. And it was tough too, because you have people's lives that are really hurting, and you have to provide them and try to help them the best way and to be able to dive into that. And actually, I think we had a pretty good success rate. We're actually be able to help more people.
Yeah, how do you handle the emotions when it's someone's recent family member who died and that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's definitely tough, and those ones we try to tread lighter as much as we can. We've done investigations where we've had family members of where we're at come through, and they break down in tears, and I've cried. It's emotional. It's a powerful moment, but it's nice because it can give that person closure and give them a sense of hope that they'll see their loved one one day, or that they're wherever they believe they're waiting for them. Things like that. It gives people hope. It gives people.
No, it's important.
Because honestly, we all agree. Like, I'm happy. I love life, but life fucking sucks sometimes. It kicks you in the ass sometimes. So I think everybody loves the idea of there's more to than just this. Like, we're not just here. And you have whatever you want to believe. Go for it. But there's so much more that you can go to.
That's really good. Danielle, when you enter a location, how do you decide whether to lean more scientific, spiritual, or intuitive?
I think it depends on the location and what kind of entities you're dealing with. I just recently discovered that I had psychic medium abilities, not to the sense where I can see spirits, but I can definitely feel when they're around. I have this thing where I get a tingle where my third eye would be, and it's the craziest feeling. And I actually asked Patty Negri about it, and she told me that that's a thing. And I was like, wow, okay, well, because I have abilities. So usually when I walk into a place now, because now I'm doing 2 to 3 investigations a week, I just kind of analyze the energy that I feel, what the tingles are feeling like, all of that stuff, and I kind of just use everything. I mean, I use scientific, all kinds of different stuff.
All together?
Yeah, I use it all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Austin?
Yeah, so I don't think I have any abilities or anything like that. I do think, to Stephanie's point, I could definitely feel the the hairs on my arm stand up, and feel when it gets colder, or just feel a different kind of mood. But I am very science based, so I always go in with equipment. I'm always trying to, because I'm also I do YouTube, so I'm always trying to capture something. Or science. I'm always trying to use that. And so for me, normally I don't think he's here tonight, but Brian, who does the spiritual spirits with me, he's more of the intuitive, spiritual one.
He's got the Native American vibe that's going on that he connects with. Sure.
Yeah, I like cameras and ghost hunting. So I use that to the best of my ability. So I really rely more on science when I go into it, just more so with the equipment, the cameras.
Which I like, because you disprove, you want it debunked, so that if something happens, it's legit.
And the internet will call me out on it. Well, yeah, loser.
But no, and that's what I respect about the investigations we've done together, is that you don't just go, oh, there was a noise, that's freaky. You go, where was that noise from? How was it created? And if we can't debunk it, then it's exciting.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, we all use K2 meters, and even here I'm like, oh, I'm getting really no, never mind.
What's a K2 meter for
It's an EMF detector, so it's the the little handheld device with the ring of light that kind of goes up and down with activity. EMF is said to be a medium that if we are able to communicate and kind of sense the presence. But there are times where you're holding it and you're like, no, never mind, there's an outlet. All right, moving on.
Yeah, and that's important. Steffany, how about you? When you enter a location, you decide whether it's more scientific, spiritual, or intuitive. How do you work around that?
Well, what got me into this was definitely knowing that ghost stories are history. So really understanding like the historical and cultural impact that these stories have lived and remained in these locations. And so when I enter these spaces, I'm aware of that, and I try to be historically accurate as well. And I really do use my abilities to just kind of like see and feel beyond that as well. See like what I'm getting at is those location, the stories that are being left on location. But to everyone's point, I feel like there's a great unity between like knowing that and also using equipment to be scientific about it as well. Like how can my intuition pair up with what the equipment is getting and what the stories are. I think it's so important to also pair up with the story too, because a lot of places sometimes will run with urban legends that are not. There's nothing behind that, just word of mouth, and we don't know if that's true. A great example is I went to a place where not enough like historical evidence to back up the stories that were being told in this one location, and I didn't feel like I was in a room that was supposed to be the most haunted room. I didn't feel anything there, so then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do like a tarot card spread here and see what I'm getting, and I just wasn't getting much of anything. And then we did the Estes method, I didn't get anything either. And then later, I ended up actually running into a historian, and they're like, yeah, that was in the book. I was like, oh my god, I'm so glad that like my abilities and divine and all the stuff I did matched up with what the historian was saying. So like, for me, that's the important part.
Steffany, do you ever feel pressure to connect something even when it's not there, or are you able to separate that and just go, I'm not feeling it?
I'm pretty honest. Like I'm not feeling it, and I've been to some places where I know there's an owner there, and they're very touchy with that. And I'm like, look, I'm not feeling it. I'm sorry. Maybe it's like will come through to Carl or someone else, but I'm not feeling anything. So like I'm okay with saying that too, and I think that's also like a misconception. I think that like just because the place is haunted doesn't mean it's like always active energy. I'm sure you know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
And you can't force it. That's the thing. It's like when I've gone on whale watching trips in San Diego and all that. You can't force the whales to come out and see them on it just because you paid the tickets to do that kind of thing. But when you have those areas that are more prominently have activity than others, at least there's a good chance. But I'm the same way. I'm like, tonight it's not happening. And usually if we stay long enough, we'll get some activity and stuff. But you can't force it. You got to wait for them to talk to you and want to talk to you. So I feel you 100%. Jay, how do you go into approaching a paranormal investigation?
So for the show, obviously we have an audience that we're trying to show this to, so we always try to go scientific as we possibly can, trying to document, even if it's a single piece of activity, but trying to have it from multiple camera angles, multiple devices, things like that, so that way it's not just one single piece of evidence, because there's always going to be people that question, there's always going to be people that try to just be like, oh, it's nonsense. So the more you can tackle it with more angles, more pieces of devices, it's harder to debunk, it's harder to try to shoot it down, so it's best to do that. But then a lot of investigations, if it's just for fun, things like that, it's your own personal experience, and you're not trying to document it necessarily, it's what you feel, and I think that's a lot, paranormal, investigators, there's a rush you get, there's a thing, like, at the end of the day, it's like we do this because we love to do it, and we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't love to do it, and I think that's a big part of it.
And what is it like getting paid to do what you love for a living?
I grew up as a kid in New Jersey, like chasing the Jersey Devil through the Pine Barrens and sneaking into abandoned mental hospitals and things like that. Do it as a living and get paid for it. It's a dream. It's amazing.
I feel you on that one because did the same thing in Louisiana. Couldn't afford shit, but I loved going to Marie Laveau's the graveyards and all the haunt. New Orleans is haunted as fuck, so we have we had a fantastic backdrop to grow up
Oh
with.
yeah, it's the way to do it, you know. And you know, I grew up doing it, and then I think too, like I think your mindset plays a lot into it too. Like I always talk about, like my dad, love him to death, but he's like an electrical engineer. He's very like he doesn't believe anything. I tell him stories, he's like okay, like he just like doesn't.
Do we
believe
have
it.
the same dad? Is it supposed to be the same thing?
Literally same.
I'm like half your age.
But you know, I know like if I brought him on an investigation, he probably wouldn't really have much of an experience. So I think there is a level of like it's almost like tuning a radio. Like you kind of have to have a mindset. You have to be open. You can be skeptic. Approach every investigation I do as a skeptic. I'm not just gonna walk in and be like, oh, it's on it, it's this, it's that. I want to prove it. I want to document it. You know, but like if you're completely shut off, no matter what, you're not gonna be open-minded. You're probably not gonna have the experience.
And that's just in life in general.
Absolutely.
If you're not open-minded, you're not going to experience what someone else is experiencing that's open-minded to that situation. So I think that makes complete sense. Do you ever have, you know, being on TV, do you ever have that pressure of a producer going, we need something here?
Lighting, you know, work music videos, documentaries, films, all kinds of stuff. That's since 2002 I started working in movies and TV. And when I originally started Ghost Adventures, they hired me as a sound guy. So I went into my first shoot just as a sound guy. He left and wasn't there for the investigation. And I did a lot of TV that TV is like actually played out us, and you know, but we all throw our ideas out there. We all have free reign to kind of come up with whatever we want to do, how we want to tackle things. We don't have producers that tell us what to do or say do this or say that way or do it again.
So you can kind of throw out ideas on real time, like, hey, I'm feeling it over here, let's switch to this one.
Exactly. That's actually how I originally got on the show. I was like I said, I was just doing the sound, and we went down. We filmed in Jamaica at Johnny Cash's house, which was amazing. Like I'm music. My first love was music, and that's what got me into filmmaking. Is actually making music videos for my crappy bands through middle school and high school, you know. And so we were in Johnny Cash's house, and like I said, I wasn't there for the investigation at the time because I would just do the first half of the show. And then a couple episodes later, Zach plays an EVP for me, and you hear him say, "Do you like Johnny Cash's music?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he's like, "Doesn't that sound like Johnny Cash?" And I'm like, "It actually does." It's like, what you could do, you could take that EVP, do a waveform analysis, and basically get like a digital fingerprint of the voice, and then compare it to a sample of a real Johnny Cash voice, and then overlay the waveforms and see if you get like a match. And he's like, "You can do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a tech nerd. That's what I do." And he's like, "Well, you're gonna do it." And he brought me in front of camera to start doing that, and then after that, it was kind of history, and then just kept coming up with ideas, and you know, but that just having that free reign of creativity. And even now, we just went out, and every episode it's just like, we do different. We're always trying to push and come up with new methods, new ways, you know, new equipment. We're always researching new technologies, things like that. But then also using all technologies in a different way. Kind of keep trying to push the field, you know, because we're lucky, we're very grateful and lucky that we have an audience, and we see that, you know, so we're able to kind of help try to introduce things, help push people and inspire people to keep this going. And you know, ultimately, the more people that does this, the more people that shares their stories, we're going to know more definitive answers what's actually going on.
That's neat. I'm glad to hear that, because I love hearing that that it's a creative process that you can kind of control and not just told what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's,
I don't think I would be doing it in my 16th year of the show if it was any other way.
yeah. How many seasons have y'all had of Ghost Adventures at this point?
It's debatable because they kind of break it up weird on how they air things.
Divide it in
Yeah,
half.
but like
half
I think
in the beginning of the year, half at the end of the
what
year.
we're calling, so next week on Wednesday, special comes out on Discovery Plus, and we're calling that season 30. Is from one. You know, whether it's technically
That's
29,
cool.
31, I don't
30
know.
seasons.
But we're calling it season 30.
Yeah.
What we've
That's
been
a
saying.
successful endeavor, I
Yeah,
would say.
well, it's been amazing.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Okay, well, that's cool. Danielle, how do you personally separate fear from fascination when you're deep in an investigation?
I'll wait. I don't get any sort of fear when I investigate. So
Ever?
Ever.
Of any
I've
spot
never-
you've ever been to, you've never been
I've
scared?
never gotten scared.
Oh shit, I can't even say that.
I've never gotten scared. And I've been
I've
all
been
over.
scared of my own house and here.
Yeah, I heard about the house. I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Well, I've been investigating since I was 12, and I just nothing really be more than that.
Living people are scarier.
They are.
How about you, Austin?
Yeah, so I mean, I've only ever done a handful of investigations. I've done a lot of them, but here, hosting them. For me, I mean, I never, here at the Pioneer, I've only maybe been scared once, and it was just because something happened that, like...
Yeah, there was one time you freaked out for real. I
Me?
remember, yeah, at the Pioneer investigation. I'm just saying.
Which time was that? I'm
yeah.
trying to remember, make sure I
No,
maybe.
you're like, that was a messed up night last night that I had.
Oh, so I think the one I'm talking about is we had a big group and somebody came here and they brought something with them and it was talking very negatively. It said like, I'm the devil at one point. We were like, that's not what we normally get here at the Pioneer. But in terms of legitimately...
Didn't they start arguing with
Yes, he was
entity that was here? And
having an argument with the entity through the spirit box, to where my co-host was like, "Hey man, we're not doing that here. You're not gonna bring your baggage here at the Pioneer and then drop it on us." He actually ended up doing it. I lingered here for a few weeks. But one of the only times I've kind of ever really had a underlying fear is actually when we're doing the VIP tour tomorrow night, which by the way we still have a few tickets available. So just gonna plug that.
Right.
Here at the Pioneer. Might be a little meaner than you'd like, but at the private residence where I went with you, it felt like something was like holding onto my back every time I walked through the hallway. It's the only time I'd like actually been like almost shaking nervous to do an investigation. But the way I kind of do it is I just kind of keep grounded with something that helps focusing on like, all right, I'm just gonna look at Brian, or in Jay probably does, I'm just gonna look at the viewfinder on the camera.
By private residence, you mean my fucking house.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not gonna put you out there like
yeah,
that, Stephen,
thanks.
but
No, you're right. There is something negative there, and that doesn't exist at the saloon.
no, not at all.
So and for those that do want to participate, tonight's VIP tour with Jay Wasley, like I said, I think there's more activity going on there. Even the guy that sold it to us, I've heard, sold it because he couldn't handle it anymore. Even our neighbor to this day says sometimes they get your interested.
And now for one low fee, you too can experience that. So go talk to the bartenders up front.
Yeah,
When you do that tour.
thanks for the marketing.
Of course,
Sunday
just
marketing
doing my
hat.
job.
Steffany, how about you?
Okay, so it's interesting because I've been, practicing for well over a decade, and I feel like for me, because I come from like the spiritualist side, I don't really get scared. I think I've learned along the way too that humor and music is the best way to snap out of the fear.
Nice.
So I remember the first time when I was filming for Mysteries Decoded, we went to the Leonis Adobe House in Calabasas, and there were moments where I was feeling a little nervous and a little bit anxious, and I really had a playlist. I did a K-pop playlist, and so like in between shoots, I would just put on my AirPods and just like jam out to K-pop music. It's just a way to ground myself and make myself feel elevated and just good and not scared. And I think that's for it's really all in your mind too. So it really helps, right?
It's a good lesson. Humor and music
Yeah.
solves a lot of issues.
Yeah. And like, for example, I love house cleansing, and before I go to someone's house, like I do the reading, I do over the phone consultations before I go to chat with that person and do the house cleansing. I'm like, before I go to your house, I just want to check your mental health first. Like, are you feeling good? Like, where are you at? Like, what can we do first? We need to work on that first, because even if I go to your house and I do a cleansing and I shop whatever's there, if you're feeling anxious and you keep thinking about it, then it's not going to go away. Like, you need to feel empowered as well. So
that person has to be open to a cleansing of their house.
Yes.
Otherwise, that energy is going to stay.
like open to also empowering themselves too, because like I give them a checklist of what to do even after I leave. Like, look, you're stronger than you know. This is why we're in this plane. This is your plane. This is not your plane. You're stronger than that. So I think for me, like, I started off just doing reads like with people first, and then over the years I segued into mediumship and working with like entities above this plane. So I think that's why I don't really get bad experiences or anything negative. The one time I did was at a cemetery with these Navajo paranormal investigators, and again they reinforced that lesson to music and just like challenging it. Something came in and said fight.
Is that Shane Flynn?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's like, well, what's my real name then? And like he started challenging the spirit and saying, well, what's my real name? And then silence. And like, that's what I thought. So like again, you are stronger than what you think. So that's just my answer.
That's very interesting. And when you do cleansing, do you do sage? How do you cleanse a house?
Yeah, so I do a close practice. So when I do these, I do a ritual that is part of a close practice, and I actually use frankincense, and I use holy water that's been blessed by more than one priest. So it's a whole process of how I do it. Sage is great too, but frankincense is more universal as well. So I have different process, and I do a whole ritual with it, and it is close practice, so that's as far as I can say. But
She has an NDA.
yeah,
No, that's cool, and that makes complete sense. I have a company called Vegas Voodoo that has good luck charms, and we've been around for years and years. And this one girl, Barbara Cochran from Shark Tank, actually featured us on the NBC's Today Show, and they featured our Sell Your House spell kit, which ironically, like what you're talking about, frankincense and stuff, that's Catholic tradition. And ironically, even though we're called Vegas Voodoo, and we're like, oh, voodoo is evil and all this kind of stuff, I was like, this is a spell kit based on a Catholic tradition of burying a St. Joseph statue in your yard to help sell a property. And she had seen so much positive data from people that use St. Joseph and our spell kits that she put it on national news. It was like a free commercial, which was amazing. But I had to remind people, like, just so you know, this is a Catholic tradition. It's not a authentic Haitian voodoo tradition that you should automatically think is evil. So once again, open your mind and those kind of things. So that's funny. I just noticed you mentioned frankincense.
Yeah, frankincense is more universal, and it really has been used forever for like exorcism and stuff like that. So if you are curious, you can use sage. Frankincense is another alternative.
Awesome. How about you, Jay? What about the fear factor? Does that come into play occasionally?
I have a reoccurring shipments of new underwear every month. Not really. I don't do that. Just for the record.
Underwear.
No, it's
Why would I know that?
No, but I've been absolutely terrified so many times, countless times at this point. I've witnessed exorcisms. I've witnessed possessions. I've seen things standing there by myself. So I'm crawling on my belly through this crawl space. I have one camera, and I called it out because nothing was happening. And then all of a sudden, I felt something grab my leg. I dropped the camera in front of me. You could see me, and you see there's nothing behind me. And I actually get dragged backwards, like a good 3 or 4 feet on camera.
Oh shit!
And there's nothing there, and I'm a big dude, and I'm in this space that's like this big. I'm kicking, freaking out, losing my mind. Dust is flying everywhere, and it's pitch black, like you couldn't see. And then I remember Aaron heard me the commotion and popped his head in where I climbed in, and I saw his light, and I just beelined it, just crawling out as hard as I could. And then the problem is too, right, as soon as you get out, you're comprehending all this, and there's a camera in your face. Like, what just happened? Explain it.